Hey everybody, I'm Chase from the Disc Golf Underground. What I'm going to do today is a one disc round. Today I'm going to use a KC Glow Rock from Innova Champion Disc. This is a 177 KC rock, and basically I've never thrown one of these before. As weird as it sounds, when I started playing disc golf about 6 years ago, the first disc I got was a Buzz, and then I started throwing a Buzz, and then once I found Vibram, I started throwing Vibram. And basically my whole bag is rubber, and I often hear about buzzes versus rocks, etc., and I can only compare things back to a buzz. So today I wanted to give a rock a chance. Also, what's kind of started the reason for this purpose, or the purpose for this video, I guess, is because I saw a bunch of posts on Facebook about people breaking their KC putters and also their KC rocks just because of the temperature. In Texas, we don't really get cold weather that often, and so at 50 degrees here at the beginning of January, this is about as cold as we'll probably get for a while, and I wanted to see how this would hold up. In doing so, I came to one of the most wooded courses here in Houston called Texas Army Trail. The first 4 holes are fairly open, but then after that the last 14 are only in the woods. So we'll see how this disc holds up in 48 to 50 degree weather. We'll see what a rock actually feels like, and we'll see what happens. So thanks for watching, and I'll tell you more about this disc after I get a chance to throw it for 18 holes.
So obviously the first time I get a chance to throw it, it threw fairly well. Like I said in the intro, I've never really thrown a rock before, so I wasn't quite sure what to expect other than, since there's always a comparison between rock and buzz, I figured it'd be a fairly straight flyer. These first 4 holes were a little bit open. There was a lot of crosswind coming through, so it was a little bit weird watching the disc fly. But it seems that the rock has a little bit more high-speed turn. As you see here, there's a little bit of an S that comes out of it, whereas whenever I've thrown a buzz in the past, or the Ibex is what I throw the absolute most out of all the discs in my bag, which is Vibram's version of a straight mid-range flyer. There's not as much high-speed turn with either the buzz or the Ibex, so I don't really get an S out of it. I usually just get a dead straight and fall type of effect. So the most interesting thing about the rock as I was throwing it is it tends to tail left a lot more than I'm used to as it starts to slow down and that low speed fade sets in. All in all, it took a little bit of getting used to. The rock feels a little bit more domey than what I'm used to. The buzz from back when I threw it and even the Ibex are more flatter topped discs. The rock feels a lot more to me like Vibram's newest mid-range disc called the Launch. And to be honest, I don't really throw the Launch or bag it or like it a ton because it's different than the Ibex, and it always just seems to be a little bit weird out of my hand when I'm throwing it. So I prefer the Ibex over the Launch, whereas some people like the Launch more than the Ibex. So I guess it's always just a what do you prefer type of feel. The rock gave me a more of a Launch type of feeling to it. And if for some reason I was ever forced to play a rock versus buzz challenge, I would go with buzz. Hands down, actually, because the buzz feels so much more like an Ibex to me, and it's a flatter top, longer disc for me. That was the other thing that I thought was interesting about the rock, is I didn't feel like I could get as much distance. Not that it was bad, I'm still throwing 300 with it. It just felt like I was throwing a lot harder, and then more of the disc was going left and right rather than straight, and so it's just a little bit different. All in all, I had a good time here. Playing Texas Army Trail. This is the course closest to my house. It's going to be one of the courses in the 2018 Texas States Tournament. And as you can tell through these holes that we're going through, it is heavily wooded. You get off to the side, you kind of get stuck there, and it's hard to get distance and back into the middle of the fairway once you get off course. The common joke around Texas Army Trail disc golf scene is if you're playing Army Trail golf, you're going left, right, left, over and over again if you mess up. Oddly enough, as I was playing, I found a couple that was lost in the woods. It was their first time to ever play disc golf, and they had their ultimate frisbees and promotional realtor frisbees that don't really go anywhere, and they were trying to play disc golf with it. The lady that was there decided they wanted to play disc golf after watching a French TV show that mentioned it, and she said, wow, if they do it in France, they probably do it here in America. So you'll see here Paul is the gentleman there, and he's using his 165 gram ultimate frisbee. His wife Amy was the ringleader of getting them started and going, and they're having a good time playing with me. So we finished the last 6 holes of the course together as we just started showing them kind of what a disc golf disc looks like. At the end of the round, I was able to give them some, but it was a lot of fun. The most interesting part about this whole course is this hole coming up right here, hole 12, because this hole was designed for a rock. And so I was telling them that this was the perfect hole for this shot, except, as you can see there, I hit a tree. And I never thought it would be that big of a deal to throw this disc in 50-degree weather, and I didn't expect it to shatter, but obviously it did. The rock is a glow rock, so there's a picture of what it looks like under glow conditions, which is awesome. But once again, this video was to see if the rock would hold up, and it didn't after one round at Texas Army Trail in 50-degree weather. So as I was making this video, I thought I'd share a couple of other discs that have broken this season. All these discs come from a Facebook post where someone was discussing their rock that shattered, or their AVR, which is a putter that shattered, made out of the same plastic. Once again, it was interesting. That was my first time to ever shatter a disc in disc golf, so that was fun to watch and see. But apparently it's a fairly common occurrence with some of these stiffer plastics. So all in all, the rock was a decent disc to try out. I'm not necessarily a rock fan. I prefer the Ibex. If I had to throw something out of plastic, it would be the Buzz, and I do not think I would ever throw one that's as brittle as the KC version. I would probably go for something like a Star plastic or a FLX plastic from Discraft, but of course I throw Vibram rubber, which are indestructible and would never shatter like this. Thanks for watching the video. Hopefully you guys have a good time and go out there and play some disc golf this winter. Have a great day.